Hello, I'm Vince White. I'm an employment attorney, and today we're answering publicly posted questions from avo.com, avvo.com, getting folks the answers they need from an employment attorney. And here is our question from Monroe, Washington. And I should note, although I can answer your questions as they would penned in the EEOC under federal law, I cannot give you specifics as to state law. I am neither allowed nor knowledgeable, and you should absolutely check with a local attorney. What can I do if my manager has threatened violence against people and sexually harasses employees? I am working in a hostile work environment due to the conduct of the manager. There have been racial remarks and slurs, threats of shooting members, and sexual harassment, including leering, inappropriate comments, invading personal space daily, all of which has been reported to the company president. The manager was reprimanded after I reported his racially discriminatory comments a couple of months ago. Recently, I reported that he was showing most of the warning signs of a potential mass shooter and told the threats he has made of violence towards other people. Today, I saw a rifle on the floor of his office while he was off work, took pictures and reported it to the company president. I do not feel safe around him or at work and would like to meet with an attorney to discuss the situation and learn about my rights and or next steps. Okay. There's a lot going on there. So one of the things you did not specify in your question is if the sexual harassment or the discrimination or the threats is targeted at you. And that's important because the advice is slightly different, right? If it's not targeted at you, but you're opposing it, and it sounds like you are opposing it because you're reporting it up the chain, well, you may have retaliation claims. Now, if it is targeted at you and you're reporting it, not only do you have retaliation claims, but you're going to have the discrimination claims and the sexual harassment claims, or you're one or the other, whichever is targeted at you, right? And it sounds like those claims are very, very real, and you absolutely should speak to an experienced employment attorney. And that flashing and booming is thunder and lightning, so sorry about that. But the show must go on. So you need to talk to a local attorney right away about that. You have claims. Now, as for the death threats and the shooting threats and all of that, so if you feel, and it seems like you do, feel that these threats are real, right? Like there's something where you're actually, it's not just like some jerk being like, I gotta shoot you, which wouldn't be funny, but also might not make you actually afraid. But if you're actually afraid, and it seems like you'd be very rational to actually be afraid because he is apparently leaving unsecured weapons on the floor of his office, which I don't know, too many gun owners who think that would be responsible, while also making these threats, right? Like he's not practicing proper firearm discipline or safety, and he's making threats of violence, including those same firearms. At that point, I think you probably have enough to talk to the police about this. And at the very least, he's making an awful lot of threats about shooting people. Maybe, pending an investigation, conversation can be had about taking his weapons. I don't know what the law is locally. You could speak to a criminal attorney in your jurisdiction. You may want to do that, but I wouldn't waste any time because it seems like you're legitimately afraid of this person who seems to be mentally very unwell and pretty angry and pretty hateful, right? So talking to the police sooner rather than later seems like a very real priority. Probably something, listen, if you can talk to the employment attorney first, and the employment attorney can help you talk to police as well, that's great. But if you only have time to talk to one or the other, talk to the police right now and just tell them what you told me. Unsecured firearm, threats of shooting people, racist and sexist language, legitimate fear, right? That's what you need to tell the police, and I would hope they would take some action to protect you and your coworkers. And then, as soon as you can, sit down for a free consultation with an experienced employment attorney. You're doing everything right so far. You're being very smart about this. You're right to be concerned, and you're brave. And thank you for everything you're doing. I'm just sorry you have to deal with this.